Hey everybody, this is Benny back with another video. We're looking at December 19th of 2017. Okay, you can see all these single prints down. We had a massive drop. This dotted line, which will show up where we are today, we're up close to this now. We are at this dotted line is a single print at 25.35. I do believe that we will, we've got a short covering rally underway, as you've seen, and it looks like we will get here. However, this isn't a possible opportunity. Now, it may be too late, and it was a little too far away from my liking in the first place, but there was an opportunity here when we've got the R3 pivot here at 25.30 quarter. And this is a full 5 ticks away from there where F reached up and was pushed back down. G opened up down here. Now, on a 10-minute chart, let's look at a 15-minute here for a second. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to 10. Shoot, you know what? It may have already changed. No, we should be able to. No, we haven't quite reached 10 minutes. I better go 5 so we can see what I was talking about. Let's see. Our periods. Let's go for 5-minute. Okay. On a 10-minute. Okay, we are not quite. This was where right here. Make this bigger. Still don't have my arrow tool. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay. This was the open of this new period right here. This bar right here. Okay. And the way that looked, as you can see, this high is lower than this high. So this was a reversal pattern. Now it's going to be invalid in a second. Well, no, it is already invalid. It's already invalid because we're back up. But what we're looking at is when we get to the high and make a poor high, let me get the profile back up here. We make a poor high or the value area high here. This is a short opportunity with this, where maybe you want to rest just above this. Now, again, the levels and areas and things, they're quite permeable, especially when it's choppy. It is generally, lunch hour. So maybe things slow down a little bit. The books did look a little thicker up here, and you can see the volume. But, you could wait till it gets right on it. It gets right at it. You can see there's some orders here, resting, waiting. This is basically when you've gone this far away from the pivot, it's quite a stretch. Now, I think we're going to go higher. We're going to go up here to 25.35. Remember the white line I was telling you about? Okay, I'm going to stop the video. So I just want to put that out there that, this is something to consider. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say from the poor high, value area high, up to here. That's an area to look for. How, in my opinion, that's an area to look for a possible opportunity. Now, ideally, you're going to want to get long, but you're going to probably catch some pushback right here. Above it, it's probably going to, short cover right up into here as we get into that K period, L or K. Let's see. It's back way up here. Where was it? So I'm going to have to do that. 25.35 way down here. Okay. It's going to be difficult to find it. And I'm going to have to go. Hopefully I didn't miss it. 12.19, right? 12.19. J, yeah, K and J period right in here. Probably get some short covering and things like that. So, all right. See where we're at. Hopefully. Okay, right there. So somebody had an order right there. It's either going to pop up and, stop you out, or it's going to be short. It's too late for me. And, this time of day that I just ate a little lunch. I just happened to notice this and thought I'd share it. It's probably too late unless you're watching this live to even to look at it. But okay. So let's say you got filled right here, 25.30 quarter. And again, I didn't generally like to put my orders right on a line, but that sometimes with the way things are, knowing it's going to go through it a few ticks, it may pop up a whole point and then flush. And that's still doesn't mean the zone was invalid. It's like you don't want to miss it either. It's kind of it's a tough call. You could be, okay, here we go. Here's a little pop up. Is it going to like truck on up? They're within reach, and there may be some serious short covering here. But you don't want to have your stop or get out. You don't want it to come too far against you because it's going to go, man. But this is an area or place that you could fade it, So that's all. So I'm just going to stick here and we'll see what happens. Was I right or wrong? Because this is one that you want to be right away. Now, for me, I would not have risked this much. Not generally. So let's see. I think if it really flushes, then, this was again, I've been talking about it all week. If any kind of level or any area, you got to give it a little room because these things are just, it's kind of like I got to think of an analogy. They'll go, they know where people are, and they're going to get your stops. They're going to get the tighter stop people. It just depends on the day, on the momentum upwards. We're in I believe, a short covering rally. And you can see the volume's been, it's pretty decent up here even. So there you go. There's your trade. Now, will they hold it here at the value area high, or will it flush down to the midpoint of G or even further? I think we're going to keep going up. So, and we've got 20 more minutes left in here. So we may even reach 35 in the G period or higher. But, there's your pulling off a point or two, as I said the other day, I don't necessarily believe in a 2-to-1 ratio. That's a bunch of bollocks. An opportunity like this, you don't want to, you want to kind of monitor what's happening, and you're going to, this is the chart I always show. Okay. I like the profile. I can trade right off of this information alone, but obviously I've referenced some other types of things. You gotta, these are 30-minute bars. You can see at the bottom of my thing, I got a lot of different kinds of charts going on. You got your own toolkit, So look, if you were wanting more than a point, you were getting too greedy because you were trying to call a high, but again, not really. Cause like I said, this can't be exact. It can be, but it shouldn't be. Probably would have been better to watch the order flow and get short in F, when it exhausted a little bit, or when you notice when G opened up, that was going to be a reversal pattern on a 10-minute, but nevertheless, this did work, but not for much. It's a little take a bite. So if you had a couple lots, that's a nice little nibble. You do a couple of those a day. That's well, it depends on your appetite, but it's a little bit of money. So yeah, this is there's some people holding it right here. Of course, that could just disappear. Is it going to flush now, or is it going to pop? So if this disappears, I think it's just going to build and go on up. So I kind of want to hang in there and watch it for a minute. Most retail traders are anywhere between 1 and 2 point stops. So they haven't quite gone 8 ticks yet. And they may need to reload down here to take it up higher, take some profits, and then add on. I don't know. Again, is this invalid? Well, it depends on where, how much risk you want to take, or if you think it might flush down. If it flushes below G down to, this F open before going higher, or even down here, like maybe the bottom of this distribution. Where's this? Right here, which is foreseeable. See, we are close of this will be 1 time framing up. So it may, it may fall below G and stop 1 time framing and continue to grind higher. You're probably back in the money if you were short here at 30 quarter. Here we go. Got to break that value area high. That's the main thing. We need to get below that, and you might get a little bit of speed to the downside. They're letting buyers think they're getting into it here. I mean, I'm talking the smarter money. Buyers picked up a lot of people bought right here, let it go up, and maybe they'll crush them and then run them down here. or maybe not, just go on up. There's a lot of maybe nots going on in the market, but you can see that it's kind of this area was important. There's things changing hands here. There's a lot of energy being exchanged, the way I look at it. So let's just watch. I'd like to look over at something else. Yeah, it's one more push up, get that 8-point stop, and then crush it. We'll see. A little bit of exhaustion. I wouldn't just flatten it just yet. I mean, if I was at a 2-point stop, I'd let it go ahead and see if it takes me out, even though that just, that's kind of stressful. They may, like I said, they may hit eight ticks, and or even 10, and then crush it. It's just these games that are played are you'd play them too, probably, if you had the ability to do it. And is it maybe just the hive mind that does it? I don't know if it's collusion or if it's just somebody who's really has the power to do it in a whim, one individual or two individuals working together. It's behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. So, all right, we're going to get another pop up or a flush here, I think. Well, obviously. What I'm looking at the tick. Okay, let me pull it over here. And I have certain settings that I like to use, and we could get another shot up, very high up, but I run some other things that help me to. I have my own way of looking at that, and it's telling me, of course, anything could happen, but it's telling me there's pretty good odds that it could. This could be it. Maybe one more pop up, tick or two, and then down. You can see him building up here. You see him building. So unless they're playing a game and they're getting filled on the long side, and then they move these so it pops. Those are limit orders, that got to be plowed through. Okay, those are kind of gone. So we got the one more tick, and now what's going to happen? Oh, maybe we're just going to go get overextended, I wouldn't have wanted to have that much risk on this, going against this, but everybody's different. Again, the trade really was within a point or so of the well, even a point. This was 5 ticks at the F high. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go on up. They're gonna go up and get those single prints. Now that also could be an area if somebody wanted to short it, but again, you're trying to. It's a reverse of catching a falling knife, sort of, So I don't like this as much, even though it would react. I'd rather be long and go up to it, but I don't really have it. Again, this was just where it might have been stopped out at 8 ticks, just a general like where they might go. So they went 10, looks like 10, maybe 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ticks, 2.5 points. We're gonna get a flush, or gonna get a rush. How about that? Just came up with that. We could get a flush or a rush. I don't know. Yeah, we're going up. I'd say that that worked for about 5 ticks, but again, it was just an idea. An important concept is that not every trade, even if it's valid, works. It doesn't always work. So this worked a little. If you this is one where you are right immediately, or you need to flatten it, and you also need to have lowered expectations. So this is where it's helpful if you have more than one lot to trade. So you take some off at 3 ticks, 4 ticks, 5 ticks. You take it off. You get out. Now it's paid for if it comes up against you a little bit. Or you could just take a normal, take small risk, but you've already paid for part of it. And you might really get catch hold of something. It's kind of how you do it, and that's how you sort of sidestep some of the games a little bit. But in this kind of case, when we're trucking on up and looking back to December 19th, which people looking at smaller time frame charts, that they don't see that. They're not going to necessarily go back and see that there were single prints, and we probably are going to have short covering that's going on. So we are definitely got one distribution here. Get push up and be a lot of covering. Maybe come back down and settle on top of the 20 or top of this little area here, or even inside of it. I don't know. I don't see us really rolling over today. That would seem really unusual. When I say roll over, I mean roll over to the downside, take out the low. Not roll over. But let me erase that. But let's see. This area of low volume, this is a possible destination here, this node of high volume here, right there at let's see, 43.25. See, it's just above the open of that day on the 19th. I don't know. However, when I say 43.25, let's see what this comes out to. Remember, I did this earlier. Oh, shoot. Snap to high or low. I don't want to do that. I just have to eyeball it, I guess. Did it again. Copy and move. Now I want it to be exact because it, like anybody. Oh no, that's not 43.25. That's way higher than that. So yeah, that's in the future. I don't know what I was thinking. That's obviously going to be way up there. You probably knew that before I just noticed that. I got sort of caught up in the drawing part of it. All right, where are we? Let's look. Look, we're coming up those single prints. See? So let's stretch this out. Yeah, and that's something to notice as well. If you start to see a pattern like this level's at 35, right? So where did they come off of it from? They made an attempt at 34. So that's 4 ticks away. There was a point where many times it's 1 tick ahead of a level. They're front running it a little bit. I know a trader who likes to put it right on the level all the time. Always have done that. I've always liked to be like just before, and then so many times I didn't get filled, and a lot of times a little slow, and I'm at the bottom of the order book, so it may hit my price. I don't get filled. Kind of needs to trade through it, and for me, if I'm late, and for a long time 2 ticks was good, but it also that increases. Ideally, structurally, where you want to maybe control your risk with a stop or something, it may go to that tick above or the line, and then that's really where the entry should have been. And now it's really close. You've kind of lost that area. So like if you were more conservative, you don't get filled. If you're more aggressive, this is aggressive. 34. Let's say you're trading this area, and you're a point ahead of it. Well, is it really working? I don't know. It might. Let's see what the range is on that G. That's another thing to consider is your average range of a lot of these, a lot of bars, because that kind of gives you an idea what you might expect. Excuse me. The volume remains consistent. And when you got a short covering rally, it can go on all day, and it kind of, very often does remain consistent. All right, well, that's enough of the video. I don't really have much more to say, and my throat's getting scratchy. Got the value area high now. It's a possible area if it does retrace. And right now, there you go. There's your single prints, and they'll probably come off from there. Yeah, see. Would that be a place to get long? Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to try. That also looks to be about midpoint of G. So that's not a bad play if in 3 minutes the next bar opens, even the R3, or that's more aggressive. We could get another distribution and it just keeps on trucking, you know. We'll see. All right, so hope you enjoyed it. Have a good afternoon. Oh, there we go. There, that was the short there for now. So it may come all the way down. You know, it always helps to around the time of the hour. You know, the hour mark, half hour mark. You know, a little more activity, a little bit more directional conviction. Just moments before it changes over. Going to reload, reset, continue in the direction, or is it time to just cut? You know, get out. You know, close all positions. So I don't mean me. I just mean like that's what sort of is happening. So, all right. Thank you. Have a good day.